Hezbollah firing dozens of rockets towards northern Israel. This took place on Sunday. No casualties reported, but the country remains on high alert for a potential retaliatory attack from Iran. This after last month's assassination of a top Hamas official. And we've been talking about that prospect. Joining us right now with the geopolitical headlines heading into the week is Brics, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Strategy and Force Development under President Trump. Good morning to you. We've been talking about some kind of retaliatory effort and just how much things escalate from here. What do you see?
Well, great to be with you, Andrew. It does look like the Israelis are thinking, according to Axios, that a strike is likely to happen in the coming.
First of all, we had the Trump campaign saying that it was hacked, citing a Microsoft report that in turn pointed to increased activity from Iranian groups in recent months. Now, this wasn't a particularly sophisticated attack. From what we know, it stemmed from a compromised email account belonging to a former advisor to a U.S. presidential campaign. Phishing, that relies on someone simply clicking something in an email, and it is one of the most common forms of cyber attacks that AI, for all of its promises, does not eliminate. Experts say that this could just be the start of more complex cyber operations and a throwback to the 2016 playbook. Remember when Russian-affiliated groups used phishing attacks to gain access to emails and then leaked them to basically stir up division, influence coverage.
For the spot Bitcoin ETFs, that's really when we saw the sentiment change with investors in the private markets. A lot of folks were saying, hey, look, we think that the bull market's right around the corner, the bull market's coming back. So we saw, investors were more willing to meet with founders that are not part of the portfolio to write new checks. And then from founders, they're finding it easier to meet with investors. And these conversations have really accumulated over the last 6 to 8 months for us to see, the uptick in deal value.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're in the Cash App. And guys, make sure you go to TikTok, like, and follow. There's plenty of videos that are coming after the 14th. I'm on vacation. And make sure you subscribe, like, and share this channel. Spread it everywhere. And guys, you can't make this stuff up. Yes, we have the drums are beating louder. And then also we have the cyber attacks. And they're giving you a warning just like in the movies. Remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. And we have that institutional money coming into Bitcoin. And the reason why is because anybody who knows about money now can clearly see we're moving to the fourth industrial revolution. And that's the reason why we're going to see more corporations, more pensions, more people in their 401k start to invest in Bitcoin once they start doing their research. They might not understand all that comes with the fourth industrial revolution, but they definitely know something is up. Now, I'm not going to get deep in the drums or beating. I'll do a Patreon video for that. But we know the NWO just needs that crisis in order to bring in this technology. Remember, a crisis, you can do things you normally would not be able to do. And we know the banks fund both sides. And we have the Fed raising rates the fastest in history, has the most debt in history, printed the most money ever in history. Why, guys? To destroy this legacy market. And what's attached to the legacy market is America and the United States dollar. And both of them have to fall in order for the fourth industrial revolution, the Brics, the emerging markets, to rise. And now we're starting to see these rates seep into the economy, which is going to destroy banks, small businesses, and of course, unemployment is just going to start shooting through the roof next year. And remember, it's 3 to 5 years to build this fourth industrial revolution. It is a plan. It does not happen overnight. And by the time the sheep wake up, they'll be getting that free programmable money and headed into the metaverse. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
And our guess is that the Fed might have been slightly behind and might jump in with more likely a 50 basis point cut in the next cycle and potentially another 25 basis points before year end. unemployment also is shifting, and we are seeing both white collar and hourly wage earners being affected sort of a little bit negatively, and that could continue. However, I think what is going on at the same time is we don't see a recession per se. We are seeing much more a scenario of soft landing.
Okay.
Some people in the administration call it a feather landing.
The Fed last raised rates over a year ago, so we're really starting to feel these rate hikes. I think the yen carry trade was a big part of it, Tyler, which I'm sure you've talked about ad nauseum at this point. But when you look at where the economy is today, unemployment is still very strong at just over 4%. Wage growth is growing at just under 4%. The Atlanta Fed is estimating third quarter GDP of 2.5%. And let's don't forget earnings, Tyler. Earnings growth came in double digits for the second quarter, but importantly, the non-Mag 7 companies produced the best earnings growth they've done since the fourth quarter of 2022. And that's one of the things we've been worried about, is we needed to see that broadening out. We're seeing that now. So that gives us confidence that there's room to run here.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told told his members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.